Welcome to Chaotically Nerdy, a podcast made by nerds for nerds. This podcast is made by adults, for adults, and for children with bad parents. Adult language will be used, and adult situations may arise. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Chaotically Nerdy. On this week's episode is me, Tyler.
And me, Jarrett.
And me, Bigfoot.
And me, Ashley.
It took me so much to not say Bigfoot.
Oh,
I really wanted to.
I'm not Bigfoot. I'm Ethan.
I wanted to say either Bigfoot or one of the fucking kangaroos' names, but I couldn't remember any of them.
I could have said Lucy. I
the
chose not to
ruse.
intentionally.
So this week is going to be a very odd episode.
Bigfoot and kangaroos.
Bigfoot and kangaroos. That will make sense here in a second.
And drugs.
It's really Lucy, Bigfoot, and kangaroos.
Yeah.
Drugs.
Well,
Bigfoot kangaroo jumps Lucy.
Can we get this over with?
We can try. So this week we're doing what I'm effectively calling the Bash 'em Up episode.
Sure.
So we all picked, not all, because Ashley did not. She coincided with Ethan for a movie.
And we are considering doing this every now and then.
Yes.
Just find these movies like this and just kind of talk about them and bash them.
Yeah.
Which means that if you're in the Discord, please get onto the discussions post and post really crappy movies that you remember from your childhood so that we can watch really shitty movies together.
And tell us whether you like this sort of thing.
Yes.
Like we're bashing these terrible movies.
And if you're not in the Discord, the best way to join it is to use the link in the description below. Or just search Chaotically Nerdy because we're a public server. So
because
you
the
should be able
whole
to find us.
goal of this was was originally the three of us. Now going to be four. We're going to pick like the worst movies we could think of.
Am I getting a promotion again?
You're here.
you are present. That is your promotion.
Yeah. You still don't get paid, but
None of us do.
none of us do.
Teaspoons left.
This costs money.
Teaspoons.
But and we find these really terrible movies, we pick them, and then we see who's watched them, and if no one else has watched them, then we're gonna make each other watch them, and then we're gonna come in here and bash the crap out of them.
We also can make events through the Discord if you guys are interested in watching really shitty movies
And
with
we
us,
could
where
watch
we
them
all watch them
together.
together.
Yep. That is the thing. Because I was going to actually offer up for people to watch Warriors of Virtue.
Oh, that was such a shit movie.
I wanted to share the pain with somebody else because I knew it was going to be so
I
bad.
feel like
We
that's
did.
illegal because torture is illegal.
We did it though.
What?
Bill and Hannah.
Yeah,
The day
Bill
we
likes
got-
those types of movies.
The day we got married, we watched it for a second time.
Oh,
You are some brave souls.
yeah. All right. So the three movies that we picked was Cry Wilderness, Lucy, and Warriors of Virtue.
Yep.
We're going to roll the dice to see which one we're going to start bashing first. I'll let Ashley do it. And then it's Warriors of Virtue. That's
Yay.
where we're starting. So Jarrett's going to explain the movie for a minute because it's the one he picked.
Yeah.
Explain a plot badly. Go.
There's this kid
explain the plot.
who has clubfoot. I'm not really sure what his ailment is.
It's never really said.
But he has like a brace, like Forrest Gump, kind of on his foot.
Young Forrest.
Yes, young Forrest. So he can't walk. He's got a gimp leg. But he's into like martial arts, and I guess he goes to this Chinese restaurant like a lot. I don't know.
With the intense cooking scenes.
Yes.
Kung Fu cooking.
Awesome. And then he gets bullied into going to this mystical vortex by his bully.
That he looks up to.
Kind of, yeah. It's very weird. And he gets transported to the magical world of Tao, where there's all sorts of anthropomorphic creatures, including fucking martial arts kangaroos who embody the 5 elements of Chinese lore: fire, wind, earth, metal, and wood.
Sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Water. No, not earth. Water.
Sure.
No, there's
Yes.
earth.
No,
there's no
earth.
wind.
There's
No wind.
No
That's
wind.
what it is.
It's
water.
Yeah. It's fire, water, wood, metal.
Earth.
Sure, they embody it. Yep.
they embody
Air
something.
quotes. Embody. Sure. and they have to fight this evil emperor who wants some sort of, I forget, unobtainium. We'll go with. I can't remember what the actual thing he wants that keeps him young.
Stuff from the ground.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
It's something like a fountain of youth type thing.
Which apparently there's a shitload of them because
Yes,
the bad guys already destroyed them all.
But the last one's in their city. I don't remember.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the plot. And then he goes home whenever they kill the emperor.
Not only does he go home,
Yep.
he goes home to before he fell into it, and he's just standing there. It's
Yeah.
almost like he just had a fucking fever dream
Yeah.
himself.
Nah, man, I'm good.
It was a stroke that we all went through. Yeah,
it was a mutual
it
brain
was like-
cell having a stroke.
It was a collective stroke.
I don't know talking about this. Is an Oscar award winning.
God. There was something specifically I wanted to. There's two things I want to talk about with this movie. The weird placement of slow mo.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh, it was so
Right at
bad.
the start.
I have a fucking note on this. I put, was this directed by Zack Snyder? Because of all the fucking slow mo. There
It's a
was
lot.
slow mo cooking. There was slow. I mean, everything.
And my favorite one is like right at the beginning, whenever he's walking onto the football field, because
Yeah.
apparently he's also a water boy.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like whenever he's like walking on the field, he's like slow mo, like, but it looks like he's just
Oh, the
like,
slow-mo faces.
like
You were...
it's like he's walking through like knee-high mud, and he's like just trudging onto the, but it's like in like super slow mo. It's garbage. Yeah, it's awful.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is the bad guy in Tao.
Yeah.
I had to look up to make sure that it wasn't Tommy Wiseau.
He kind of vaguely looks like him. He
Yeah,
does.
and he's like, what a great villain.
Yeah.
That is the one thing about this. I love that guy.
Yeah.
That guy's one of my favorites.
I will say the football coach, actual NFL Hall of Famer quarterback Warren Moon. I don't know how the fuck they got him. I don't know who he owed money to, but they got a fucking Hall of Fame quarterback to be the football coach somehow.
So I'm the only one that took notes on this, just because I wanted to remember certain things to bash. The first note I have is cooking excessively, because that guy.
The kung fu cooking
went-
scene.
Oh, that's awesome.
I just kind of open mouth stared at it for a hot second.
I
Like, what
did
the
too.
fuck am I watching?
I feel like I've seen him in other things before.
I feel like I
Probably.
had too. But my favorite part of it is whenever he just yells to the boy and he's like, on your right, and then throws all the fucking food over, and so much of it misses the bowl.
It's still kind of impressive. He got over his back.
It's
Like, oh.
impressive, but I was like, so much of it missed, and now you have to clean. Like, somebody has to clean that up because you're in a fucking restaurant.
Oh, whenever the kung fu guy who's cooking, right?
Yeah.
When they come back to the kitchen later on and he catches the guy with his foot, I knew it was going to happen before it happened.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, fuck you. No.
And he trips
he
the
did
guy,
it. And he
catches
did
him
it.
with his foot, and then catches all the fucking plates.
He's in big trouble in Little China. Maybe. I don't know if that's where you've seen it. I don't know.
Maybe. But like he did it before Spider-Man did.
Yeah.
He cut all that food on that. Yeah.
The first fight after he drops into Tao, and Yun is the
Yeah.
water guy's name. He kicks one of the bad guys, and he just fucking flies sideways. It's so ugly.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of terrible wire work in this movie. I love it.
Oh, all the like fighting scenes.
there's-
they dropped the resolution. Did you notice?
Yes.
And the frame rate.
They
And
dropped
it's
the
just-
frame rate. It
It's
was
so
bad.
fantastic.
But that first one, the guy's like getting pulled by the wire, and he's just fucking kicking and screaming, and they do it in slow mo because the whole fucking movie's in slow mo essentially. And I was like, this is so bad. I loved it. I laughed so much throughout the whole thing. And then I wrote, they're so ugly because of the kangaroo.
Oh,
Oh, they're so.
so
So
bad.
fucking bad. I
You
told
know-
my
Oh, I haven't told. I don't think I've told them yet about the second one. What they did
Oh,
with the second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did tell
Okay, I
us.
did.
Tell us,
that
yeah.
they just made them humans, right?
Because this one made so much negative money, not really, but it didn't make any money. So they cut the budget so much that they couldn't afford the makeup to make them ruse. They just made them humans because they reached enlightenment in Tao,
Oh,
which is funny.
evolution.
Yeah.
That's exactly. We come from kangaroos.
Yeah.
That's the one brain cell just had a fucking stroke again. That's not how that works.
I'll walk you to the car. It's fine.
They
You might have to
fucking-
carry me.
Yun shows up, like a backup, after he's unbanished or solitude.
I would say it wasn't banished. It was self-banishment, if anything.
And he has fucking water bottle pauldrons. Go back and look
I
at
don't
them.
remember.
They
I don't
are.
remember
That is
that.
cut water bottles.
That's awesome.
On his fucking arm, like on his shoulders. That's what he has. Because I looked at it, I was like, that is fucking water bottles.
Yeah.
You can't tell me anything else. It may not be, but it fucking looks like water bottles.
I won't look it up, but
The Warriors come out to play line. That was fucking. I was like,
so dope. But like,
Yeah.
also, you're like, yeah, that makes sense.
yeah. I said the medallion scene near the end. I literally wrote holy frame drops with the medallion scene.
Oh yeah, it's awful. Yeah. I really liked when he's like laughing and lounging on the bed.
Yeah.
And like she called it. She's like, "That's so much purple."
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I was like, "Oh, you wait," because no, it wasn't you. That was Hannah. Hannah said, "Oh, that's so much purple," and I said, "Oh, you wait," because I'd already watched it. And he comes up and he's like, "Hey, guy, come here."
Grabs him. He's
Come
like,
here. He's like, is purple a good color on me?
yeah.
I forgot about that fucking guy. Oh no.
He's great. That's probably one of the reasons why I watch the movie so much.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
Brain
it's fucking
dump.
hilarious.
Also-
Oh, and the guy that works for him is the one from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's his name?
I don't know.
I don't know his name, but
He's one of the two guys from Pirates of the Caribbean. The
Yeah.
two funny pirates.
Yes.
One's the short bald one, and the other one's the taller one with the wooden eye.
yeah, it's a short
Yeah.
bald one.
The short bald one is in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember his name.
I don't remember his name in either movie. Couldn't tell you.
Jeff.
Sure.
But yeah.
And then one of the other notes I took was, did he daydream this whole thing? Because literally, whenever he snaps back, he's like right there in front
Although
of
the existence of a second one, I guess, suggests not unless he has a second stroke /
Oh, it's a
daydream.
tumor. It's a tumor.
It's not a tumor.
It is a tumor
It is a
now because
tumor.
it's in my brain and I can't get rid of it.
It is
You're
a
welcome.
fucking tumor.
Anything else that we want to bash on that before I tell the ratings of it? Because yes, I looked up the ratings.
Why?
They're terrible.
I just want to point out that this movie was released May 2nd, 1997.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, also this was the director's debut film.
Well,
Shitty way to
hope
start.
they stopped him from making anything else.
Either that, no, they didn't. It's Zack Snyder, obviously.
No,
His name is
It
Ronnie
was.
Yu.
he's done actual stuff that you're like, oh,
He should be in prison for this movie.
he did. Here, you know,
The way you said he did, and then just stopped,
No.
made it sound like he went to prison for this movie.
he did Bride of Chucky. He was the director for Bride of Chucky, Freddy vs. Jason.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I would like to say that this movie is like somewhere between like Jim Henson
And Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
and like Ninja Turtles, Power Rangers.
Yeah.
But somehow the kangaroo costumes also remind me of Barney.
Yeah,
Kinda.
I can see
Because
that.
because their
They're like
legs are
felt,
yeah, they're
too.
like felt and it's weird.
They're fucking weird.
Yeah, it's
No, the Ninja Turtles and Power Rangers connection is probably why I like it. I liked it so much when I was a kid because I watched this movie probably like 50 times.
Yeah, which is that
So
makes
if
me
you
feel
ever
so
wanted to
bad for
see
you.
that unholy union, yeah.
No, you just like I go to the video store, I'd rent like 3 or 4 movies, and I'd watch them over a weekend and take them back.
If any of you on the Discord are interested in watching it,
Oh, I got
we can make an event.
Yeah, we could do that.
I got some other ones in the bank from those.
Oh, God.
Shitty movie days
Oh yeah.
I've got other things I'd rather do than watch this movie ever again.
for a third time.
I don't know, like flaying my own skin off my arms.
Do you want to watch the second one?
Fuck no.
So the Rotten Tomatoes score, it has an 18% tomato meter, so
Yeah.
critics fucking hated it.
yeah.
It has a 47% popcorn meter, which is oddly impressive.
Hey,
it
I'm not
has a
surprised.
4.7 out of 10
I
on
am
IMDb.
Yes.
part of the percent that liked it.
So it's, to me, it's one of those movies that's so bad, I thought it was funny.
Also, I think another reason I liked it is because it was like a PG movie that had shit happens line.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm not supposed to hear these words.
Shit happens.
So you thought you
Shit
were...
happens.
Yeah.
It does
I thought I was
happen.
getting away with something. I
Shit
wasn't.
happens. Like this movie.
Yeah, I didn't get away with shit.
Okay, roll the dice and we'll see who's next. It's behind you.
At least I think
You literally moved your iPad the exact opposite way you needed it to go.
Uno.
It's me. That means we're going to talk about Lucy.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
technically might be the most well-made movie.
Production value
Yeah.
is a little bit higher on this one.
It has Morgan Freeman in it, so that's at least like a couple points. extra
Scarlett
bonus.
Johansson.
I think the production value makes me hate it even more.
You know what?
Because it looks like it should be a good movie.
They had the technology.
To anyone that likes this fucking stupid premise that I hate, it's such a stupid premise.
Yeah. So
The 10% of your brain. But go watch The Limitless instead.
yeah, that's a better movie to
better
watch if
movie.
you're going to try to unlock 100% of your
Yeah.
brain. So this movie is about a woman named Lucy, obviously, who
Which is
Gets mixed
implied
up.
that she's named after the first
yeah,
woman.
it's implied at some point in the movie because you jump back and see it. I don't know why.
She's named after an Australopithecus
Yes.
afarensis
Yes.
named Lucy,
Yes.
That's
Hey.
but
found in the 1970s.
it's,
to the
it's
song
implied
Lucy
that that's
Miscarried
actually
Parents.
like legitimate. What
Is
she's
that
named.
the oldest hominid or just oldest female hominid?
No, we know a lot of information about Lucy because she is one of the foremost skeletal remains for Australopithecus afarensis. I actually think she's our type specimen, which means that we based all of our information on what the species itself would look like
Because it was so well preserved.
because it was so well preserved. She's only missing like a handful of bones.
Gotcha. So Lucy gets
whole
into this shitty situation.
You two
Fucking
are
hate you
fucking
two.
idiots.
Fucking hate you two.
One brain surgeon the same fucking joke.
Yeah. You guys shared it to have
That was
half
the
of a
last
brain
10%
cell
of
each.
our brain gone.
Oh God.
So Lucy gets mixed into this bad situation where she has to take this briefcase up to this guy. It's these drugs. It's a new drug that's hitting the market.
Turns out it's not really a drug at all. Really.
Yeah, it turns out kind of not. She gets cut open. They place the drug inside her. The bag busts. And so she then gets all the drugs in the system. The drugs turn out to
Not all. Half.
half. She ends up using the rest of them. Sorry.
Yes.
Makes her smarter. Unlocks more percentage of her brain, allegedly. And then she basically goes the rest of the time killing people and trying to
She's trying to get the other 3 packets of the drugs to make her,
whole.
to get her to 100%.
Yeah. Which is a weird process because she's struggling to survive without more
Yeah.
of the drugs. And she thinks that exact amount of the drugs will make it better.
Well, because she's so smart now.
Yeah. So she knows the exact amount of drugs she needs. And it just so happens to be the 4.
Yeah.
Sounds like meth heads. I must get more meth.
Yeah, this is just meth.
So first note I had for this was they had some weird jump cuts in the beginning where they were like,
The beginning was so weird.
Yeah.
When she's talking to what's his name, from Game of Thrones.
yeah.
Not fuck.
It's the fucking same one as
It's
Theon.
Theon. It's Theon's
Greyjoy.
uncle. I can't.
It's
yeah,
the Greyjoy.
I can't remember his name. The one that tries to fuck Cersei. But yeah,
Yeah.
the same guy. The dialogue was like really weird there. It was
Yeah.
so.
It was really weird. Then they had weird jump cuts. And then you just see animals fucking
Yeah.
for some reason.
There's
and
a
then
lot of-
their animals are birthing, which I'm like, okay, sure. You went from fucking to birthing. That makes sense to me. But I didn't need it. to
Because
start with.
like most of the beginnings getting narrated by Morgan Freeman.
Yes. Because his whole character is he's a professor that has studied the limits of the brain,
Yeah.
essentially.
And he's hypothesizing everything that will come to happen with Lucy.
Yeah, everything that can happen if you unlock to 20% and then everything else. Basically, she unlocks more of her brain and she gets superpowers.
Yeah.
Which is the gist of the fucking movie. And then she goes and gets the rest of the drugs and she just becomes technology.
Everything. She becomes everything.
Almost like God, kind of.
Yeah, that's what they're inferring.
Yeah. And
It's
it's
clearly what they're inferring.
But yeah, it's one of the movies that I know if you've listened to the podcast, I have bitched about this movie so fucking much because I hate it so fucking much because so much of it just bothers me.
It was an hour and a half of my life that I cannot get back.
Yeah.
I will
and I'm
say
sorry for
something
that.
about all 3 of these movies. They're all like 90 minutes. It's all very good. Just get
Yeah, they're easy to get in and get out.
Cry Wilderness is an hour and a half.
That's 90 minutes, Ethan.
I know. Yeah. I I don't remember it being that long. I had such a good time watching it the
I was
first
saying
time.
that's what movies used to be. Where not
I thought
every
it was
movie
going
was
to be
2
like,
hours.
I thought it was going to be like an hour and 20 minutes or less.
I wish it was.
Another one of my
We'll
notes
get to
was it's the dumbest thing that they do in all movies where you put bags of drugs inside of people because the body temperature will break down those bags.
Yeah, unless they're like some super heavy plastic.
The gun cock, this is me just being picky at this point. She cocks the gun whenever she picks it up, even though it's already loaded. Like she racks the slide
I don't remember. I don't
for no reason. So
Because
she would
it's
have.
cool, and that's what you do when you're in a movie. You rack a gun.
It makes no sense.
Someone hands you a
She's
gun,
supposed
you
to
pull it
have
back.
more of her brain power. She should know you don't need to fucking do that.
You don't.
You don't. I don't even remember specifically. Is this when she first breaks
Well,
out?
yeah, when she
Okay.
first breaks out and she like picks up the gun from the guy, she like full on racks it. So she would have lost a shell, or the guy was just walking around with no round in the chamber.
Maybe.
Which is possible.
It is possible. And then I got so bored with this movie and so mad that I was watching it again that my next note was, "I'm a computer now, motherfucker," because that's essentially how it fucking ends.
I mean,
That's a big jump.
There's a big jump, but nothing fucking happens in that time frame. That's of any importance.
Well, here's the thing. It's a Luc Besson film, so it, obviously a large part of it takes place in France because he's French. Do you know who Luc Besson is?
No.
He directed Fifth Element, Valerian, The City of a Thousand Planets, whatever. I'm forgetting a big one, ain't I?
yeah, but
Leon the Professional.
yeah. So the movies just continually go downhill as he progresses through life.
I would say like
Apparently.
he's also done like a bunch of like other weird shit. Like he
Because Fifth Element's fantastic.
and Luke. I mean, besides if you once you get past like the weird like child bride-esque of Leon the Professional, it's actually like a really well. It's like Natalie Portman's like debut film.
Yeah.
So on to Lucy's ratings. Somehow it has a 6.4 out of 10 on IMDb.
I didn't even talk about this movie much at all.
That's because it sucks. You don't have to talk about it.
I'm really mad at you for suggesting this movie when we suggested at least something fun that's terrible.
He recorded, or he directed Taken 3.
Oh yeah, he did all. I think he did all the Takens, or he wrote all the Takens. I think maybe.
We gave something fun, and you gave pain.
Because we said bad movies. That was the criteria. Yes, you all picked bad movies that were good. This has been the one that I've wanted to know if I'm just bashing the movie or if it's
Okay.
actually
like
that
The
shitty.
Fly, you know.
I've seen it.
I would say you make it worse than it seems. It's not a good movie. It's not like the worst movie I've ever seen either.
You want to know why I think I hate it so much? Because I seen it in theaters, so
Yeah,
I
you paid
know
money
I
for it.
overpaid.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, you paid, so
Exactly.
you overpaid.
Exactly.
You spent your time watching it. You
Not
overpaid.
only did I pay, I paid for me and Sam.
Yeah.
That's some bullshit.
I don't know many movies of this production value where I actually was sitting there watching it and be like, this really fucking sucks.
Yeah.
This is one.
Yeah, I know. It was bad.
I don't think I got through it the first time I tried to watch it. I'm like, this is really garbage. I'm going to stop watching it.
Yeah.
And then now I've been forced to, and fuck you.
You're welcome.
For years, I just stayed away from it because you're like, it's terrible.
I
It's
still hate the fucking
terrible.
three of you for The Last of Us still. To this day.
Yeah, but
That's
that's
a-
a good
that's a
show.
good
It's a
show.
good show, but fuck all of you for making me
Season
watch
2
it.
should be coming out next year.
Yep. Get ready to break your heart all over you.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be real bad.
It's gonna be real bad.
Fuck my
So,
life.
last but not least, Cry Wilderness.
Oh,
Oh,
boy.
well, hold on.
Okay.
67% tomato meter, 47% popcorn meter.
I'm really
It has
gonna
the
need
same-
you.
It has the same popcorn meter.
It's Warriors of Virtue.
Yes, it's Warriors of Virtue. That's fantastic.
But I feel like I liked
Just
Warriors of
more-
Virtue more.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know.
no
I'm
doubt.
biased.
No doubt.
No, I did too.
Yeah, no doubt.
Wait until we get to Cry
Oh,
Wilderness.
it's bad.
Results.
I'm okay. I couldn't pay attention to this movie for a goddamn thing. I'm really gonna need you to fucking explain this plot because I was lost.
The
No,
plot, the
the
plot
plot's
is
not that
very simple and yet
It is.
complex. So the plot of this movie is that a kid is in a boarding school of some sort.
Yep.
And I should start out with this movie was made in 87. It looks like it was made in 70.
Yeah.
So there's like
I
a
would've
20
said
year.
60. It looks-
It's like someone putting out a movie now that looks like it came out in 2005. Right? So it's not great.
It's not great.
The visuals aren't great. It doesn't look great. In fact, it was so bad that it made it onto Mystery Science Theater 3000. If you know what that is, if you don't know what it is, look it up because that's exactly what we're doing right now.
Yeah. Except not live.
We're not doing it live. Is the only thing. But the movie starts out with this boy who's the main character. I don't remember his name.
Right.
Paul.
Yeah,
Paul.
Your
Anyway, he's in
father's
this boarding
danger,
school.
Paul.
And he's on a field trip to a museum, and he's standing in front of a replica of a Bigfoot.
Which, by the way, I fucking hated.
Oh, it was awful. Yeah, it's
We'll
dumb.
get to it.
Anyway, he's standing in front of this replica of a Bigfoot whenever the teacher or whatever
Mr. Umbridge.
chaperone that's there to take them from the boarding school to the museum comes up and starts asking him what's wrong or whatever, and then he starts telling about how he's met Bigfoot. The kid starts telling him how he's met Bigfoot
Really weird.
in the summer.
Yeah, it's really
in
weird.
the summer. Well, because his dad's like this park ranger guy, and so he like spends summer with his dad like in the park in the north, like just very very vague. Anyway, at night, what happens that night, he's asleep in bed whenever he hears this noise, and there's this bright red light coming through the window, and he goes and look out the window, and it's Bigfoot standing on a fountain.
I missed this
down
completely.
below.
I was like, I had no idea why he ran away.
He's yelling, Paul. Anyway, he says your dad's in danger, so he's going. So the kid goes off on this trek to go find his dad, and
It bears importance to point out, too, that by this point, this kid has gotten into enough trouble at school for saying that he believes in Bigfoot that he is on the cusp of being expelled from school.
It makes no sense.
This is
at
like
all.
5 minutes in the movie, too, and I had already lost interest enough where I checked the fuck
That's
out.
the first 5 or 10 minutes of the movie.
It's like,
The rest of the plot's very simple. Okay, now that we've established that is the main plot driver, which doesn't make any goddamn sense.
no.
It's now it's just him wandering around the woods with his father, a Native American, and a murderous
Bounty hunter
who also hunts big game.
Isn't he, what did he say he was? Like a U.S.
Who's just
Marshal?
randomly
Marshal?
eating.
Yeah.
And he's like, whenever they get back to his dad's house for the first time, he's just randomly in their kitchen eating a carcass of some sort.
And then,
Killed something and ate it.
and then there's a fucking raccoon on the table, and he picks it up and starts choking
choking
it.
it.
Hold on a second. Let's talk about the raccoons. Because the dad says, I got some baby raccoons that the mom left. I seen that fucking raccoon,
not
and
a baby.
I went, no wonder the mom left. They're fully fucking grown.
I did think that at the very end.
Whenever she came
comes
back.
I go, that's fully grown raccoon. What the fuck do you
Anyway, it's just this long string of random characters saying random stuff and getting into the story arc, and it's just this big line of tangents, like tangent off this way, until we get back around somehow again to saving Dad with Bigfoot.
I'm assuming he was supposed to save him from, what was the beast? A tiger?
There was a tiger.
A tiger showed up.
There was a big game hunter guy who was murderous.
Yeah.
There's the weird sheriff guy.
Yeah.
There's the guy in the town who like owns the car museum. There's
So many plots.
There's a Bigfoot. That's who's supposed to be this beast that the guy from the car museum once killed for fuck all reasons.
Because they think he's killing.
A deer. He killed a deer.
Yeah.
It could have been a bear.
And they think. Basically, the plot of it is that they don't even know it's Bigfoot. They think it's just some monstrous beast out there that could harm humans, so we must kill it.
But it's just a guy in a Bigfoot costume.
Before the tiger, I thought it was the mountain lion.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, it's just a fucking mountain lion. I'm like, it hadn't killed anybody. Yeah. I'm like, all right. And they're like, there's a tiger. I'm like, whoa, hold the fuck.
The tiger comes out of fucking nowhere. It's
Okay.
so far out of
all these adults around being fucking weird and then being creepy with the kid is really strange.
So the first thing that I noticed, the tiger didn't surprise me because the first thing that I had noticed, and I brought this up to him, I was like, is that a fucking harpy eagle?
It was.
I was like, because they're from the Philippines. What the fuck are they doing? Like,
So they just like raided a zoo and got all these animals.
Basically.
So I Googled it while we were watching the movie, and literally none of the animals, like, that
Yeah.
like the major animals were from North America. Like all of the birds, they're not North American.
Makes sense.
It was like, okay.
The fox I don't think was a North American fox.
I would like to read this to you before we carry on. So I Googled this movie. It was written by Philip Jordan, who has an estimated 100 writing credits in film since the 1940s, including Dillinger, film noir classic The Big Combo, The Day of the Triffids, and The Fall of the Roman Empire, right? In 1986, Jordan was hired by production company Visto International to make a Bigfoot movie, with the company having previously made a Sasquatch movie in 1978 that made a $4 million profit on a $150,000 budget. Writing the script became difficult for Jordan as he was told to cut out horror scenes and to be restricted from adding any violence, profanity, or sex. These restrictions resulted in the scriptwriter telling the distributor he would be writing a movie about nothing, to which the distributor acknowledged that is what they wanted.
He
They fucking got it.
God.
Nailed it.
But it's just nothing makes sense. The interactions between the people don't make any sense.
Because like
The
sometimes they're
interactions
friendly.
between the people and the animals don't make any sense.
Can we also take a moment to acknowledge that father is a piece of fucking shit?
Yeah, they're the worst parent. He's the worst parent ever.
He's like, you're going back to school. And you're like,
and then
Look, a
drag.
bobcat. I'm going to chase the bobcat.
And then-
Oh, come back here, son. It's all right.
Paul, come on.
You're gonna go
Stop
back
it.
to school, and then no, just kidding. I'm gonna drag you on a big fucking game hunt where you might die, but it's okay because whatever.
And then the super racist Native American.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness. Oh,
Very
that is so bad.
stereotypical.
Yeah,
then-
like, and he's just approaching the bear. He's like, "Oh, wrestle it," and then everyone's laughing. It's
laughs
just
were
a bear. Get
But
over
then
it.
Paul, when Jim's trying to take him back to the bus stop, he just goes, "You stupid idiot." I was like, holy shit, this was the 80s. Oh my God.
It's such a wonderful ride. This movie is just a
And then
trip.
the fact that Bigfoot likes Coca-Cola and rock and roll, and then you get to his fucking cave, and it's just crushed Coca-Cola cans
And a radio.
and a radio. It's like, where the fuck did he get all this shit?
Well, Ryan explains. He gave him the radio and Paul
Paul,
I'm mixing the Warriors of Virtue because they all have these stupid basic ass names. Paul explained he brought him the Coca-Cola and the radio last
There's
summer.
a fucking mountain of Coca-Cola.
Well, obvious-
Did the dad never question where the fuck 37 12-packs were going?
They did say that. Oh, there must be someone who's staying here, like
I couldn't crush
poacher
a
or
can like
something.
this, and it was just like slightly
A regular,
smashed.
yeah.
But
Squeezed in the middle.
well, I assume he just became a caffeine fiend like the rest of us, and he just started robbing people's
Well,
Coca-Cola.
I mean, yeah, that makes the most sense. One of my favorite scenes, though, is whenever they meet the bikers
Oh,
at the top of the mountain.
yeah.
And they're like threatening each other. And then the biker gets on his bike and he takes off. And it sounds like a fucking, like the world's smallest motorcycle.
My thought was like, if the dad's
sounds
supposed
like-
to be a park ranger,
It
sounds like
he
a
should be like
kid's,
arresting these assholes
go-kart.
for
I
trash
wrote
in the park.
50cc dirt bike noises because it literally sounds like
No, there's one. It's when they shoot the gun at some point, and it makes a fucking cartoon ricochet sound. It's like, pew! I was like, what the fuck? I look up from my phone. I go, what just happened?
After hearing your description you found online about it, I am fairly sure that the writer was so pissed and having been told to write this, he's like, "We're just gonna make this the biggest pile of shit ever."
Not only that, there's a fucking scene whenever the tiger's on top of the car that Paul's in, and it punches out the fucking car windows.
Nope.
Go back and watch it.
Like a
It's
fist. It's a fist.
with the tiger paw. It's a fist with a tiger paw over it, and you can see the fist go through the window.
Oh boy.
It's so bad. It was so bad that I had to write down a tiger punching out windows. And then it hid in the house. I'm a sneaky boy.
We had a comment that you can have a whole bunch of change in some shit and it's still shit, like for the production of Lucy. And we determined that you didn't even have 2 plastic pennies for this movie.
So bad.
Why would you waste the shit to pay for this movie?
This is not a movie I would ever watch again. I will never watch this
You're
movie
sitting here telling me to
again.
go back and watch the scene. I will not.
You'll never
I
have
won't.
Just look up the scene. You don't have to watch the
No.
movie. I bet you could.
All of the wild animal like montages was more than enough for me. I was like, "What the fuck is this generic game photo?"
Stock video.
Yeah.
Of animals.
I'm like, come on down to
It's like 20
Where?
minutes of
Where?
Bubba's Farm.
Where is it? It's like filmed in like mostly California.
Yeah.
And then they have some that's like it's snowy, but it's definitely not California.
Yeah.
And then there's other scenes where it's like definitely not those other 2 places because sometimes it looks like it's Yellowstone.
Yeah.
And sometimes it looks like it's California. And then sometimes it looks like it's some other god awful place, right?
When the tiger punched out the car windows, I had to pause the movie because I was laughing so hard. Like, it's one of those I should have just let it keep going, but I was laughing so hard I wanted to stop
What were you afraid? You're going to miss the plot?
Yeah. You never know. I might miss.
To catch the plot, you'd have to pay attention because it's so transient.
I couldn't. I think that's maybe why. I couldn't follow it. My brain was just like, no. I'd hear something stupid. I'd look up and be like, okay.
So,
I don't know. Bigfoot just looks like he smells like giant sweaty dick.
oh, yeah. He does.
Imagine he had to after
It looks like
filming
he's,
in that
it
thing.
looks like he's made of ball sack.
It's
If you don't know what we're looking about, look up Bigfoot Cry Wilderness, and you'll see exactly what
I'm not wrong.
No, not at all.
I went into this movie immediately hating it because just looking at how they had depicted Bigfoot, I was like, oh, they're just trying to go for like a Neanderthal look.
Yeah.
And they didn't fucking disappoint me in that aspect.
Yeah.
I mean, I was disappointed, don't get me wrong.
This
but
movie's perfect.
It
and
was-
I'll
I
take
was
no
more
arguments.
disappointed.
It's one watch. That's it.
Of the three,
Because you'll never have that experience again.
yeah, of the 3 that we watched, I enjoyed this one the most.
If you could be high while watching it,
Oh my
do
God,
it.
yeah.
Do it.
It wasn't that good high. I literally, hold on, I forgot to take it out. I have a fucking a joint literally in my pocket. It was not worth the weed.
So the ratings, it has a 2.1 out of 10 on IMDb with 1,500 reviews, meaning that only 1,500 people have been like, this is worth me bashing. And then it has a 6% popcorn meter. It doesn't even have a tomato meter, but it has a 6. 6. That is so bad. But I love every last bit of it. Oh,
Well, Ethan, you won.
I know.
oh yeah,
Oh,
you
yeah,
picked
you
the
won.
best
I know.
movie.
It's so bad.
So
And I
bad.
feel like you will have that where you will pick like because I know you watch Mystery Science Theater. I don't know if you have or not.
No.
Derek. So I feel like you'll pick those really shitty movies that are so bad they're funny.
Granted, I've seen a lot of really bad movies before I saw them on Mystery Science Theater. This was just one that I happened to see on Mystery Science Theater first.
Gotcha.
But it was so good, I couldn't pass it up.
It was the best one to watch of this bunch for me because it was hilarious.
I absolutely just
It was-
it was so boring.
I know
it is
that.
the Cardinal sin. I was just like I can't follow it. I'm bored.
But I went in being like at the first opening like
It's not about following it. It's about just seeing whatever bullshit they came up
but
with.
my
being along
brain
for
couldn't
the
stay
ride.
engaged with it. It was so boring. I was so like nonsensical. I was like,
I was hooked from the first time I saw Bigfoot. I saw Bigfoot and went, this is going to be so bad that I can't not look
that
away.
was the problem, Tyler. I checked out before we got to Bigfoot.
That was me with Warriors of Virtue. I was like, this is going to be an awful movie and it's going to be fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
My point was literally whenever I saw the slow motion on Warriors of Virtue, whenever he's like walking on the thing, I had to stop and I ran it back to watch it like 4 or 5 times because it was so shitty.
Like, did they really do this?
He wound it back a couple times. He's like, slow-mo cooking scene, you need to watch it again.
It's so good.
So good.
All right. I think we've bashed on those 3 movies enough.
Sure.
I mean, we could probably keep going. For
Except,
sure.
except Lucy, you should go watch both of these one time.
Yeah. Watch
Yeah,
the other 2.
once.
Do not watch. Lucy is just an absolute waste of time.
Yes. Yeah.
Because it's not even funny.
It's not. There's no.
It's not bad enough to be funny, but it's bad enough to make me angry that I had to watch
Exactly.
it. Yeah.
That's 100% how I feel about it.
Yeah. But the other 2 are very entertaining.
Yep. If you go in knowing that they're going to be bad.
Oh, yeah.
If you go in expecting a good movie, you're going to be disappointed. If you go in knowing they're going to be bad, you're going to be like, funny.
How often do we need to do these episodes? Because I had a lot of fun with this.
I mean, I did too. I don't know. However often we want to, I guess. That just may be the podcast now.
Huzzah!
Okay. So that will wrap up this episode. We appreciate you guys listening, and we will catch you on the next one.
Deuce.
Goodbye.
Oh!